Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, golden.
Hi you guys, welcome back to another episode of Life with a Z. Today I'm going to show you all about my most recent vacation to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. We just got back from a little weekend getaway and it was so much fun. It was my first time to Gatlinburg. My husband has been there before, so he had a whole list of places that he was excited to show me, and we truly had a great time exploring. I was really hoping to get to see some of the fall leaves with it being early October. Also a little road trip and just get out of the house, do a little exploring, see somewhere new. And this trip was so much fun. I'm excited to show you some of the highlights. We did a lot of sightseeing, driving. It was my first time even seeing the Smoky Mountains, which was really fun as well. We rented the cutest little cabin on Airbnb, and it was the perfect little vacation getaway for us. So I'm going to show you a few clips from our vacation so you can see what we've been up to. All right, you guys, when we were looking for a place to stay in Gatlinburg, the first place we checked was on Airbnb, and we found this cute little cabin up in the mountains. It was the perfect size for our weekend getaway, and it had absolutely stunning views. There was a back deck with views of beautiful trees, and we could see the mountaintops in the distance. We were set up with a nice porch swing out here and plenty of space. The temperatures were in the mid 70s, low 80s, so we really enjoyed just sitting out here on the swing and relaxing before we started our day each day. So we actually drove into Gatlinburg Friday night after work. So we got up early Saturday morning and we're taking in the beautiful views. The mountains were absolutely gorgeous, and then we headed over to grab some breakfast from Flapjacks. The highlight of breakfast was this cinnamon roll pancake that was so delicious. And then they happened to have a craft fair running for the month of October, so we went over to check that out. And the highlight for me was this blown glass booth. Greg really fell in love with these snowmen that they were making. They were so charming and cutesy. We ended up not picking one up this time, but we had a really fun time watching them be handmade. And then after spending some time at the craft fair, we headed over to the SkyBridge, which is one of the main attractions in Gatlinburg. And we actually got to ride this little ski lift that they have up the mountain to go up and walk across a bridge suspended between a few of the mountains. And this was such an experience. I was a little bit afraid at first, but I figured it's now or never. So took a risk, and I'm so glad we did. We took this short ride up the mountain on these little ski lift chairs. And then when we got to the top, there was the bridge that you could walk across and see all the beautiful landscape of Gatlinburg and the Smoky Mountains in the distance. That was so beautiful, and we had this hilarious picture, so had to share that with you guys too. And then, like I said, once we were at the top of the mountain, we just took in all the beautiful landscape. They had a little sky trail as well that you could kind of walk along and see the bridge from a few different angles, but this bridge is suspended between the mountains, and it definitely sways a little bit back and forth as people are walking from side to side. So I was a little bit scared, but I'm really proud of myself. I made it all the way across the bridge and back again. I was super proud of myself for sucking it up and going for it. Walking across the bridge was really scary, that's for sure, but these views were so beautiful and it was totally worth it. Kind of scary. After spending some time up at the top of the SkyBridge and enjoying the beautiful views of the Smoky Mountains, we took a ride back down the mountain and headed over to explore some of the shops in downtown Gatlinburg. Again, if you know me, you know I am a candy lover to my core, so had to check out all the candy shops, and they had a really impressive sweet selection. So picked up a few sweets to treat ourselves for the rest of the afternoon. So one of our main activities for this trip was really spending time driving on the roads through the mountains and enjoying the beautiful views. There are a lot of scenic routes that you can take, kind of weaving around Gatlinburg and the surrounding areas. And like I mentioned before, Greg has been here before, and so he had a few spots that he was excited to show me. And you know, he loves his car so much, so we had a lot of fun zipping around, lots of curves and twists and turns. So we had a really good time driving around and exploring, and I really enjoyed the beautiful views. We were lucky enough to catch some of the leaves starting to turn beautiful yellows and oranges, even a few reds. So it was such a gorgeous drive, truly relaxing and beautiful just to take in all the fall scenery in the mountains. After driving around for about an hour or so on Saturday afternoon, we made our way over to Clingmans Dome, which is one of the highest points in the Smoky Mountains, and you can really get a view of all the beautiful scenery and landscape. And as we were approaching, we could absolutely see the fog and smoky nature that gives the Smoky Mountains their name. It really felt like you were approaching a big cloud. So we started to see kind of the fog build up as we were approaching, and there's a half-mile hike from the parking lot to the highest point where they have the lookout tower. So we made our way up there, and as we got to the top, we were still able to see some of the beautiful scenery and these gorgeous pine trees, which in combination with all the clouds and condensation, the smell of pine was so strong and so beautiful. It smelled like a Christmas tree up there, so we loved that. And as we spent some time up at the top of the mountain, all the fog started to kind of close in around us, and it truly felt like we were hugging a cloud up here. So we spent some time kind of enjoying this beautiful atmosphere, and it was a little eerie but also beautiful and so cool. Definitely a bucket list item. After spending some time up at the top of the mountain, we made our way back down to continue our drive through the mountains where we were able to see even more beautiful landscapes and fall colors. And then we made our way back into town, and Greg has been telling me all about this Hillbilly Golf for years now. Apparently, this place has been voted best putt-putt golf in Gatlinburg, so we were excited to check it out. And I tell you, it's so unique. They have a little caravan that takes you up the mountain, and the putt-putt course is actually up in the mountains, and it's all illuminated. So we went up there Saturday night and had a little fun playing putt-putt. Next morning, we were up bright and early for breakfast at Little House of Pancakes before checking out of the Airbnb and hitting the road. We saw so many more fall colors this day, and we actually saw a bear as well. There's a little clip of him, but thankfully he kept to himself. It was a little scary to see him just hanging out by the side of the road. But look at these beautiful colors. We saw so many more vibrant reds and oranges and yellows, and then we headed over to one of Greg's favorite lunch spots. This was actually on the border of Tennessee and North Carolina, so we grabbed a bite to eat by this beautiful river and relaxed a little bit before making our way back home. It was the best weekend getaway. We had so much fun, and Gatlinburg and the fall colors truly did not disappoint. Definitely a highlight of my fall so far, and I hope you enjoyed seeing a little look into our weekend. Alright, you guys, that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for spending the time with me. We truly had the best time on our vacation to Gatlinburg. I loved seeing the Smoky Mountains for the first time, and it was the perfect little weekend getaway. Stay tuned for more fun fall trips and activities and crafts and cleaning. We have lots to look forward to in the month of October. So if you haven't already, please make sure to like and subscribe, and check back next week for a brand new video. Bye!